You give them cancer with Aspergillus mold. I'll bet you 1 in 20 households.
Let's get some lightning here.
Aspergillus
A light
mold.
source. Let's see here.
Yeah,
Should
but you
be
know that not only-
pretty good. Oh yeah, there we go.
Well, you know, I've got a basal cell carcinoma.
It's
Or right here, all right.
nearly 1 o'clock in the night. Yeah, I have these
Sunshine.
sleeping, really bad sleeping patterns.
In his basal cell.
So, it's just incredible. I don't know if that could have been any in regards of the fungus. You know, if it likes being. I don't know if it sleeps in the night. I don't know. But anyway, of course, the weather affects it. It seems so. So who knows? It's like it's a living organism. So anyway, listening to a little more of Doc Kaufman and all of that, and he goes through a lot of the same things, which is pretty good, I guess, because then you get more and more used to the bigger words, and that of course helps you, and you also get testimonies and whatever he's talking about from the other course. Now he is a Roman papist, as I understand it, so just be aware of the paganism that is found in the promotion of Christ Mass, Easter, Halloween, and all the rest of the bullshit. But in regards to fungus, he really knows a lot on the fungus thing. So I found a webpage. I found out that in Germany you can actually buy nystatin without receipt. So I can actually get what I want. It seems like I don't know if it's you have the fluent form and you have the tablet form, and the tablet form would just be easier to have on the go. If you need to take it 3 or 4 times, then they say you cannot overdose on the German side in regards of the information of the diflucan. I found it was like, oh, you cannot overdose. Like, okay, that's interesting. So apparently it seems to be very safe on that level at least. So, and it's around 400 kronas, which is a little less than $100. But of course, you have to take into consideration that they're sending it, and I'm not sure if it actually can get through to Denmark without actually being taken and all that. Or I would, if that is the case, I would need to actually go to Germany and try to get it, and I guess smuggle it into Denmark. Whatever. To get. The things that, it's incredible. It's utterly, have a vaccine, right? Oh, free vaccine, yeah. But no antifungals for you, Antifungals are only for the people that's just on the nip of dying. Yeah, because you misdiagnosed these people. So now they're lying there dying because of you guys that misdiagnosed them. Because of greedy money. Bloody river. Because, you don't think it could be a problem in more healthy people. Are you kidding me? Are you seeing what we are feeding, what the food sources we have now? It's like attacked on every single, level in the society for trying to make us sick. Anyway. So, let's continue with the reading. It's itching, getting tired of the itch. And see if I can get diflucan as well, and see if it actually, the good thing in regards of having these things, symptoms and all that, is that I should be quickly, able to see, to recognize if my symptoms stops, like having these things crawling in me and, itching and, it's just, if the diflucan begins to work and annihilates these buggers, I should be able to, and I should also get some symptoms. That would be, it's like when they have these symptoms on these, these drugs, and it's like, well, if you're killing off a lot of fungi in your body, wouldn't you expect that to be some symptoms? Of course you would, but apparently, no, they, you can't, I talked to one of these places, and they just closed the connection when I asked them. First they actually asked them, couldn't these symptoms be something to do with, killing off, all these fungi? And said, no, it couldn't be anything in regard to that. And I'm like, why not? If you're killing millions and millions and millions of fungi in your body, wouldn't you expect something to happen? Well, I'm drooling again, it's like, ugh. But in any case, I'm sitting down with so it's the, the gravity and all that takes over and then becomes a little stirred up and all that in regards to these bullshitters. So, that you need to go so far to try to figure out. I'm lost I'm lost on all these papers I have reading this and that and all that. It's just and then just keeping something that might actually work away from you and actually not working with you, but no, wanting you on psychotropic drugs instead. This is utter unacceptable. This is, utter criminal. This is utter disgusting. This is utter diabolically, this system of these white coat murderers and butchers and misdiagnoses and all that and symptom treatments and all that. But don't go for the cause. Don't go for the cause. Because, I'm sick and tired of these bullshitters. And it's, I don't need them anyway, I just need to have these, try these antifungals out and see what happens. And of course, have my diet be very, very, very low in sugar. Anyway, so let's get back to the reading. My medical I can't even talk now. Medical microbiology. Yeah, there we go. Incredible. We came to the last part. I'm not entirely sure how far we came, but then of course the next subject is bacteria. Now, did we? We don't have, there's commercials in the application, and apparently it hasn't turned this on. And by the way, now that we are here, if you haven't unlocked an Android phone and all that, and want something, and want the ads away, just go and download this program. It's open source, and it's free, and it's, it just works. I'm not sure why it didn't start it up. Usually it starts it up, enable auto start. But apparently that seemed to not be the case. So you can see there's like a key up there. And the key, helps, let's see here. You can see how it works. And you go into it and you can see the advertising is now not there. Now there's just sadly they haven't made it like, but you don't get the ad anymore. That's nice. And I don't want this, because a lot of the advertising is just, satanic bullshit and all that. Apparently I haven't been able to get that away. I thought there was a way to get it away, but no, apparently not. Just getting tired of it. Okay, so we have prions. I think we read about those. Parasites, protozoa. We have some classifications and helminths in regard to worms and roundworm. Maybe we should just take it from... I think I was nearly finished, but we can take from, let's see here, the replication cycle of viruses infecting eukaryotic cells. I'm not sure I'm saying that correctly. The replication cycle of bacteriophages. Oh, that's bacteriophages. I guess they are the ones attacking them. You just think about how how complicated our immune system actually is. How much code there actually is to make up a human being and all the organisms that makes us up and all that. And then we just annihilate it with fungus poison, just throw some fungus poison into our gut and totally wipe out all the good guys as well that actually keeps them in check. And there we go, fungus infections. And of course it's much more, it's much more clear in women because it, shows off in regards of the, private parts and all that, and it's much more acceptable that women get fungus infection, which is interesting because I think there might actually be a lot of men that actually, looking at the food sources that we, drinking a lot of alcohol, eating a lot of sugary food and destroyed food and annihilated, like Hitler milk, for example, where they totally have annihilated the enzymes, the vitamins, the good bacteria, and I think there might be something in regards to the immune system that the cow normally gives to the calf and all that. And then of course we give them unnatural food sources and give them more fungus poison in regards of antibiotics and all. We fill these cows with a lot of unnatural things and all that. And then I've got, people got sick by the milk and all that. So let's treat the milk instead of actually just going back to, why did the milk become bad? Well, it couldn't have anything to do with the cows, could it, Being forced to produce more than they actually, pushing their limit again and again and again to make more milk and all that. It's just incredible. Oh, yeah. Quantity over quality. Just disgusting world we live in. So, and I'm beginning to understand things, I guess. There's still a long way to get all things into, and I really, if the diflucan and the nystatin could work, if I can find, if it would work, I would be so much, just a period, just for a period of a couple of months or something like that. If it just would work those couple of months, it would be a release of wonder. Because I know you need to have the diet as well, because if you're feeding it sugar at the same time while you're trying to treat it, you will not get far, that seems to be totally stupid, why, feeding it, with sugar and alcohol while you're trying to treat the issue. yeah, it's just stupid. It might work if you're not that, if you're not taking that much over, but it just seems totally insane to do that, not change the diet. So one of the best diets that I have found, seemingly, that seems to not put fuel on the fire. Not that I'm probably so much infected. So and the thing is, it's not. There's not many visible signs on the outer surface of this infection, but I can feel it in my body and all. It's just anyway. One of the things that absolutely helps is just eating red meat, not chicken or fowls or whatever, I've tried that, or not fish and all that doesn't seem to work, as good as red meat, and, get a cow that is not slaughtered to Satan in regards of halal, and see if you can get a grass-fed, natural, meat and all that, as good as as possible. It's somewhat hard to actually get food that is not slaughtered to a false god, or that is not whore meat and all that. But it is possible, it seems, you just need to call different, but it's insane because Denmark, how can it be that Denmark, have most of its meat slaughtered to a false god, That's and the country says that we are a Christian nation. And then, well, we have so much bullshit in this society. So where did we get to? What should we take from? Maybe the replication of bacteriophages. Phages are composed of a single or double-stranded head and a tail, which serves to adhere to the host bacterium. After penetrating the cell wall, this hollow tail injects its genome into the bacterium. Afterwards, two different cycles can follow: the lytic replication circle or the temperate lysogenic cycle. During the lytic replication cycle, DNA is transcribed immediately. The protein, I guess it's like a copy machine in some sense. Some of the things when you see the images of DNA and all these things, it looks like a copy machine, right? Copying this DNA and all. I'm not sure if that has anything to. During the lytic replication cycle, DNA is transcribed immediately. The protein structures and the envelopes of the phage are replicated by the host, as is the DNA later on. The bacterium dies off in the process. Approximately 100 to 200 new infectious phages are released per host cell. The temperate cycle is also referred to as lysogenic cycle. The term lysogenic describes the integration of the phage DNA into, and phage I think means eating or something like that. So you have a microphage. No. Micro means eating, and phage I think means something else. Let's have a look if we can. A phage, a virus that is Oh wait. Am I totally wrong here? Wasn't it? We're talking about a bacteria. Oh, my bad. Okay, yeah, we're talking about the phages, the viruses. Oh, my bad. We're not talking about macrophages. Isn't they called macrophages? In regards to the big guys, macrophage. We're talking about a virus here. Okay, I need to wake up here. Just pretty much woken up. Macrophages. Let's see. A neutrophil that ingests small things as bacteria. Yeah, okay. So I was thinking of microphages, not bacteriophages, But anyway, bacteriophages are the virus. So let's see here. So, okay, I got that totally. Okay, that makes sense in regards of how they attack. They fix something and shoot that thing in, and then they copy themselves. They use the cell to copy them and then spread more, destroying the cell and, fix. Apparently, approximately 100 to 200 new infectious phages are released per host cell, according to this. So, and they will then roam around and, as I understand it, that was actually influenza, but where they jump from one host to another host quickly, so the immune system don't have a response. But apparently, the information here seems to be a little different in regard to that. So what do I know? Whatever the case, So I guess, but as long as you keep your immune system strong and it's not too suppressed, you should have a good defense against these. I guess that would be the best defense against these things. Going natural, strengthening your immune system and not doing stupid. And how would you weaken the immune system? Well, if you're eating bad, drinking alcohol, smoking, and fixing a lot of mycotoxins into you, fungus poison into you, the immune system, I guess, would need to work overtime. And if it gets fungus and spores and all that, the more things coming by it, the more issues it has to deal with, and thereby suppressing the immune system. That seems pretty sensible. If you're in an apartment, for example, and you are in, there's a lot of mycotoxins in the air, or fungus poison and fungus spores and all that, the immune system will try to do what it can, right? But it would be suppressed, I guess, or it would be on. When you're getting, it has to defend against these things coming into your system, and if it gets overwhelmed, well, then you get sick, and you get cancer, for example, or one of the other issues that you can many issues you actually can get by fungus, which they don't tell you because they don't want the secret out because they're earning millions and millions and billions actually of numbers, and this whole wicked system is based on a lot of lies and deceptions and, earning money, anyway. So, during the lytic replication circle, DNA is transcribed immediately. The protein structures and the envelopes of the phage are replicated by the host, as is the DNA later on. The bacterium dies off in the process. Approximately 100 to 200 new infectious phages are released per host. And I've seen some pictures of viruses and all that. Maybe they will show some more in regards of I also tried a game, in regards to the body and all that. That is, again, not finished. Most of these games where they try to make a learning game, they haven't finished them and all that. And, you fight against bacteria and fungi and viruses and all that. I don't know how much you actually learn by playing it as such, but I guess you get a little. The weapons that you use to destroy the bacteria and the viruses and the fungi and all that have different antibiotics or antifungi or antibacteria, or having things that it seems like they're using. And apparently, I think they have the names of antibiotic, but I haven't checked that. But they have different names, these different weapons of what I think is different antibiotics, because they talk about, you get a bonus to damage in regards to the antibiotic if you have these things that you can put on, like 3 slots where you can get an extra bonus. And it's... But I don't know how much I actually learn from it. You get more used to the words, anti-fung or anti-fungus or anti bacteria, or they have like a poison and poison thing that works against. And you see some of them resist some of the things and some does not resist, and whatever. Again, it was a free game, and I tried it, and actually, I don't know if the guy has stopped working on it. It seems so. The last update is from a year ago, but it's not totally bad. Oh, we have a problem with the connection as usual, and I have no idea why, because we are pretty much rolling on a 4G connection here. Which, of course, is not my normal thing, because looking at the radiation from the mobile when you're on 4G is outrageous compared to if you go down to 3G. So usually I jump down to 3G. But, So that's another thing in regards to radiation. As far as I know, in regards to the reading and all that, apparently the also animals actually in regards to can be affected by radiation, and there's something in regards of animals being where they could see the insects being, I can't remember what that was, in regards of a radar thing or something like that, and you could see the animals vibrating, and they talked about that actually being because of these what do you call it? Radiation? Waves in the air and all that. But then you can find some resources also as well where they have tested in regards of where they are giving radiation to fungi, and they release more poisons because they get irritated by these radiations, and then they release more mycotoxins. And if we have fungus in us and we have radiation around us, well, of course, if we see that they can actually promote the fungi to release more of its toxins, maybe that's what is actually happening. So if you already have a fungal infection and they're putting, you're getting more and more of all these, wireless up and all that, all these, radiation pretty much, well, that might actually affect the mycotox or the fungi, and thereby promote more mycotoxins and actually end up giving you cancer, which is just fungus. But anyway, I'm kind of, my brain is not working that good. I'm trying the best that I can do. Okay, so probably making some issues, just mostly, I guess I'm doing this for my, if anyone wants to, of course, see it, that's okay. But mostly I'm just doing it for myself. I'm feeling like I'm doing something and then I'm reading it at the same time, right? So it gets a little, it's a win-win situation in some sense. So, and I need to read it anyway, learn more on these things. But the subjects are huge. If I just could get a strike in some sense, if I could get through the wall and... But of course, it's nice to see that I found out that you can get nystatin in Germany, so without receipt and all that. So I'll going to order either 1 or 2 packages of those. Maybe I should just try one package, of 100 and see if it actually gets through. if it's not taken by the Danish, whatever you want to call them, I don't know, the whole society that tries to keep you sick and tries to, do everything in its power to not make you, not have the ability to actually, try to help you out. It seems like the whole system is just against you. It's that, when you're, it's just incredible. It's disgusting. It's utterly disgusting how the whole system works, how this whole world actually, anyway, don't get me started. So again, let's try the replication cycle of bacteriophages in regards to virus, right? So phages are composed of a single or double-stranded head and a tail, which serves to adhere to the host bacterium. So a bacterium, it goes after bacterium, for example. After penetrating the cell wall, and actually, as I understand it, they can also, phages can also be used against, I don't know what phages actually means. It must mean, if we have a phage in regards of macrophages and all that, it can't be totally bad. A virus that is parasitic reproduces itself in bacteria. So what is why is it then called a macrophage? I guess it goes back to Latin or Greek and all that, but there you go and that's a positive thing, a macrophage. That's part of the immune system. The good guys, So it's interesting also, like when they talk about the immune system attacking itself. Why would the immune system attack itself? Could that be fungus related as well? Anyway, the replication cycle of bacteriophages. Phages are composed by a single or double-stranded head and a tail, which serves to adhere to the host bacterium. After penetrating the cell wall, this hollow tail injects its genome into the bacterium. Afterwards, two different cycles can follow the lytic replication circle of the temperate lysogenic cycle. During the lytic replication circle, DNA is transcribed immediately. The protein structures and the envelopes of the phage are replicated by the host, like a printer, I guess. As is the DNA later on, the bacterium dies off in the process. Approximately 100 to 200 new infectious phages are released per host cell. Now, and again, they use these phages to, virus phages to cure different, or at least, I don't know, maybe it's only symptom treatment or something like that. But I was looking into the Candida Albicans because seems to be a phage, at least one that attacks Candida, the Candida. So, the temperate cycle is also referred to as the lysogenic cycle. The term lysogenic describes the integration of the phage DNA into the bacterial chromosome. Prophages are created, which are first replicated together with the bacteria DNA and inherited. Again, that's, there's a lot of the things that I don't understand, but again, getting a little here, getting a little there, and of course, fungus is the primary concern of me, The replication cycle of viruses infecting eukaryotic cells. In this case, one of these big words again, right? I guess in any case. In this case, the viruses completely invade the host cell. The genome is released inside the infected cell. The 3 steps of viral replication are attachment, using specialized proteins to attach to the host cell, penetrating, invading the cell, uncoating the capsid is dismantled, and genetic material is made available. Replication, the viral nucleic acid and viral proteins are synthesized. Maturation, synthesis, components from form new viruses. Liberation, release new viruses, exit the cell via membrane lysis or pinching of the cell membrane. Special case, retroviruses. What did I do there? In retroviruses, the genetic information is present in the form of RNA rather than DNA. And I'm not sure what the big difference is in regards to that, but retroviruses possess a special enzyme, the RT. The RT transcribes the RNA into DNA before releasing it into the host cell. The most prominent example of a retrovirus is HIV, which causes AIDS. Now, of course, when people have HIV, they, apparently also gets a lot of fungus issues, and then then apparently the doctors are okay by using, antifungals and all that. But no. In healthy people, no, fungus couldn't be any problem at all. They're just totally blind to that. The network status is poor again. I don't know why, because it's full signal. Then we have prions. The term, I don't know why it's complaining about. Again, it's typical. It's stupid. And of course, it's stupid that I can't set the resolution when you're actually uploading. So if I actually made the videos on the mobile, I could upload them. Would probably be better. But yeah, I should actually reset the mobile. And the problem is the space. Give me a break. Stop complaining. It's like night. In the middle of the night. There shouldn't be anyone using the network. Regards of. But, the network status is poor. Please ensure that the connection... give me a break. And of course, if I test the connection, that's, usually there seems to be, huge amount of I don't know, maybe it's YouTube, I haven't tried anyone else than YouTube. So maybe it's just YouTube that is having problems following along or something like that. But of course, you can't actually do live on YouTube yourself if you don't have so and so many. They took that feature out. Will this continue with this connection thing? The network status is poor. Give me a break. And of course, we know that they do things to destroy, They have these things of, including, I'm not even sure why I use YouTube, The network status, I'll just try to, stupidity. There we go. Full signal here in regards to 3G. And now it's not complaining, apparently. I don't know. But of course, listening on some of the things on YouTube is not so, it doesn't, it snaps the sound and all that. That's not good. What's that? You would think that was some kind of buffer running, right? But, that actually, could do so it's not actually having issues with live things. But anyway, what do we have here? Anyone commented? Okay, great. Associated with several degenerative diseases, including bovine spongiform encephalopathy, commonly known as mad cow disease. Other diseases include scraby in sheep, Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease, and Kuro, found exclusively in a tribe practicing cannibalistic rites. The transfer mechanism of prions has not yet been determined. Oh, that's disgusting. Why would you eat other people, Parasites are organisms that makes metabolic advantage of other organisms. They can be classified as viruses, bacteria, fungi, protozoa, helminths, or arthropods. Zoonoses are human diseases that are transmitted via animals. Protozoa are basic single-cell eukaryotes consisting of genetic material and a single-layer lipid membrane. They use arthropod vectors to infect the species and can exist in two forms: an active trophozoite and the dormant cyst. Classification, we have classes here. And complaining again in regards of, I have to be kidding me. Class Amobes, that species Entamoeba histolytica. We have Flagellates, Gardia lambia, Celates, Balantidium coli, and Apicamplexans Plasmodium spp. But in regards of classifications, if they get all these weird classifications. But many of these people believe in pagan satanic evolution anyway, so you never know how their classification. A fish is a fish, according to the Bible, But according to we have like mammals and all that bullshit, But a fish is a fish, But they have this idea that the goat, jumped into the seed and became, and became a dolphin, So these just nutcases. So actually, it's much more complex, right? First life apparently starts in land, apparently, in a pool of, wet, that becomes wet and dry and wet and dry. Apparently life, started there according to, some of the new information on evolution. And then apparently that life in some way got into the sea, and that's from there it became a fish. And apparently at some point the fish, became homesick and returned back to land, according to this fairy tale. And then the fish became a goat, and the goat became hungry, so apparently not enough food on the land, and thereby some of the goats apparently jumped back to the sea, and they became a dolphin, and it's just incredible. It's just madhouse, utterly madhouse. Millions and billions of years ago. Yeah, bullshit. Anyway, helminths, worms. Helminths are multicelled organisms that can reproduce sexually or are hermaphroditic. They have the ability to develop into dormant cysts. Helminths live complex lives involving animal and environmental reservoirs. They can be transmitted via fecal, oral, or fecal skin contact, or through digestion. The disease burden is directly related to the number of worms that are in the host. And that was like worms, so worms of there's a multi-celled organism, apparently, Then we have nematodes, roundworms. Roundworms are non-segmented worms that can infect the intestine, blood, or skin. Transmission route, in intestine is species Ascaris, Lambricodes, or something like that. Strongylides, Stercoralis, blood. We have Onchocerca, Volvulus, Voreria, or something like that, and Bancrofty. Maybe it's two words into one or something like that, because that's like a comma. Anyway, tissue and Xylostoma brasiliensis hookworm. That seems to be just one. So maybe it's only any case. Then we have flatworms, Platyhelminthes. Flatworms are a primitive worm that is asymmetrical in shape. They are divided into Nematodes, Schistosoma, and Cestotodes, or something like that, tapeworms. Nematodes are a common waterborne parasite. It is estimated that between 200 and 300 million people worldwide are infected with nematodes. They are laid as eggs in fresh water. These parasites cannot swim and need to mature in fresh water snails. Once mature, the schistosoma penetrates through exposed human skin into the bloodstream. The nematodes enter the venous system and lay eggs in the intestinal tract. The eggs are released with human feces into the environment. The eggs are released with human feces into... Actually, there's also one of these things that I found. I bought some liver, and the liver apparently was infected with these kind of worms, And I think I looked it up, and it seems to be this worm that the cows or sheep, or I'm not sure if the cows, or I think cows also got it. I can't remember, but they eat these. I think cows and sheep, both of them got it. But anyway, so they eat the grass and all that, and you have this parasite and the eggs and all that, and they eat it, and it becomes awesome. I can't remember all the details, but. The idea is stick into the liver. It moves to the liver and dig into the liver. It eats the liver, and then it sits there in the liver and produces eggs while it's eating, So it's feeding on your liver while making eggs. So it's just it's really it's I do wonder if there was a way to fix it in regards of cows and sheep and all that. But I do wonder if there's not any natural remedy for it. I guess maybe the remedy might actually come from natural things. I don't know. But anyway, let's see here. Species, egg, laying location, Schistosoma japonicum instantine, Schistosoma masoni instantine, Schistosoma haematodibium, bladder, Schistosoma mekongi instantine. Yeah. So castodes, castodes are a segmented worm that lives in the digestive tract of their host and absorb nutrients as they pass through the intestine. The parasite's eggs are ingested through undercooked food. Prevalence of parasitic infection. The majority of parasitic infection occur in tropical regions and in developing countries. Host may not show any symptoms of infection until immunosuppression occurs. So again, I guess we see that the parasites can do immunosuppression in regards of the immune system. So, the same thing with Candida Albicans, lowering the body's normal immune response to invasion by foreign substances can be deliberate, as in lowering the immune response to prevent rejection of a transplanted organ, or incidental as a side effect of radiotherapy or chemotherapy for cancer. Yeah. Or incidental as an effect of radiotherapy or chemotherapy. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why it's stupid. What are these murderers doing? Oh yeah, just radiate, or put poison in people or chop them up. It's incredible. Oh yeah, because we couldn't treat the cause, right, in regards of being fungi and have a focus on that, so we could stop murdering people. Now we have to give them more money, and because the cure is just around the corner since for nearly forever. It's a long time. Anyway, prevalence of parasitic infections. The majority of parasitic infections occur in tropical regions and in developing countries. Host may not show any symptoms of infection until immunosuppression occurs. Infection, total plasmosis, prevalence 1 to 2 billion. Is that the people infected? That's a huge amount. Ascarias 1 billion. Hookworm disease 800 to 900 million. Amebiasis 200 to 400 million. Schistosomiasis 200 to 300 million. Malaria 200 to 300 million. Filariasis 250 million. Giardiasis, 200 million. Pinworm infection, 60 to 100 million. Strongylosis, or something like that, 50 to 80 million. Genia worm disease nearly eradicated. Trypanosomiasis, 15 to 20 million. And leishmaniasis, 1 to 2 million. And there are some of these natural things that beats down parasites, and apparently it seems like those things that beats down parasites are also good at usually also good at fungi, and might also have some antimicrobial in regards of bacteria and all that. We pretty much got done with that. Okay, so that was pretty much it in regards of the basic of medical microbiology. So that was the basic. I don't know how much I actually, but I guess I got more than before I started. So we have bacterial infections, pathogenesis, and more. Mycology, that's the thing that we want to learn about. At least for me, trait of fungi, fungal disease, and more. More fungal diseases, symptoms, and diagnosis. Antifungal drugs list and classification. And parasites, definition and types. And viruses, prions, definition, structure, and sterilization. and then you can rate them. Now, the information is pretty good, but in regards of, why are all just putting, why are these people putting advertising in the applications? You cannot, make an application free, just to do some good in the world, instead of wanting, money, 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 and pushing these satanic, ads on people. So here we have in regards to bacteria, some of the different forms, it seems. And I've looked at some of the videos on the internet and all that, and, the different forms of bacteria. But as I understand it, it's very, very hard to actually, the microscope guy that I saw, he said it's very hard to actually figure out which kind of bacteria it is, if you're looking into the... But I guess fungus might actually be easier to actually diagnose with the microscope, I would think. Because you should be able to see the fungus in the growing in the... Yeah, and there seems to be, in regards to fungi, there seems to be differences. Now, of course, there are some species of that apparently they need to do DNA to actually, it's hard to see them apart and all that. Candida Albicans have a there's another that is very, very close to, and apparently they thought it was the same until they did the DNA thing. That they found out there was some differences, but one is aggressive, that's Candida albicans, and the other is less aggressive, So, but anyway, here we go in regards of some bacteria. Actually, this game I have that I played, it's you're controlling some kind of a bacteria, which is an advanced bacteria thing, and then you go after, you have enemies as fungi and bacteria and viruses, and so forth. And here we see, I guess that looks like a virus actually. That's the internet that I've looked at. Here we have bacterial infections. It's a pretty big chapter. There's a lot of cell membrane. I must say I'm much more interested in the fungal chapter, so maybe I should skip this and make a new video in regards of the fungal chapter, because that is the primary thing that I am concerned about. But I don't know, there's so much to read anyway in regards to different things, and it is primarily the fungi thing that I'm concerned about. But I guess it's going to take us some time to get through it all. Let's see how big the other chapter was. It was a little bigger, this chapter. Well, actually, it seems to at least be double the size. I think double the size. I don't know. At least a little bigger. Let's see here. It's I guess half the size of the other, somewhat. So how do bacteria reproduce? We have the Escherichia coli can divide every 20 minutes. That means that in just 7 hours, one bacterium can generate 2,097,152 bacteria. After 1 more hour, the number of bacteria will be risen to a colossal, nearly 7 million, Some bacteria can form endospores. These are dormant structures with extremely resistant to hostile physical and chemical conditions such as heat, UV radiation, and disinfection. This makes destroying them very difficult. Many endospores producing bacteria are nasty pathogens. For example, Bacillus anthracis is the cause of anthrax and so forth. Can you kill it with the colloidal silver maybe? I don't know. But in any case, I think there are some of these biggie bacteria that was just wiped out by colloidal silver pretty much. And you can make that at home, Oh, but there's warning in regards to getting blue and all that. Just don't make it with salt, Get some distilled water and make it from there. So anyway, if you want to get blue, of course, you can't do it with salt. You just put some salt in it, and then you, over time, will get the color of blue. But you really use that as a propaganda tool against against the silver. So here we have, here we have yeast cells. If I remember, the yeast Saccharomyces cerevisiae, and these things that is on all these scars that is on the top is how many babies it has had. You can see this one seems to actually make a baby, and all the other scars are from other, so you can see how many it has had, So I don't know how many a yeast cell can do before it actually dies off, but yeah. There must be, if the scar is sitting there, there must be a maximum before the cell dies off. But I don't know. Here we have, it's a good amount in regards to fungi. It's going to be interesting to get some more information on that. And that's more, that's more interesting to see what fungi can actually do to the body. I'm much more intrigued by that. Worms and, bacteria doesn't really concern me much. And here we have the Candida Albicans. That's what I see in my eyes pretty much. All these long-gated, I have hundreds and hundreds of those in my eyes. So, But, it couldn't be fungus, right? Apparently not. Apparently, that's something that apparently everybody's born with, according to the white coat ignorant, Latin spouter. So we have some in regards of Candida albicans illnesses, because, they will try, Candida is not really a problem and blah, blah, blah. But then you actually see that on PubMed, there's like nearly 40,000 articles on Candida albicans. And you actually find out this is a huge problem actually in society, which is totally, pretty much overlooked. Because there's money in treating the symptoms and not treating the cause. So let's see here. We have some more. See, now is there anyone? Okay. I did switch and swallow for a month, no problem at all. Okay, that's okay, great. That's in regards to nice stats, and I've asked people in regards to their experiences with nice stats, and as more information that I can get, the better, The problem is also getting the information you want, and of course also getting the equipment to actually try it out. Because the doctors wants to put you on all these stupidities of of their drugs, but they don't want to fix the cause of the problem. Are you talking about fungus? Oh, you might be insane. We're treating symptoms here only. That's the thing we earn our money from, putting drugs over the counter, which just treats symptoms and actually just makes a huge amount of other symptoms. And but it's good business, I guess SPP stands for species or something like that. I'm not sure. Let's see, SPP, nothing in regards. All these short chords and all that, it's just annoying, I see meaning, species, but that seems a little... Oh, I pushed the wrong... Oh, let's see what it says. Candida species. Species. But why is there two S or P's? It's like probably coming from Latin or something like that, and so it's probably a short form of something in regards of. Okay, here we go. Pseudomonas SPP, but whereas I would guess that it's probably, it says it's an apparition of species, but there's not two P's in species, so I would think it probably is a short form of some kind of Latin, Let's see here. Yeah, because don't speak Danish or English to the people. You need to have this, this language that people don't understand. Species. Just pretty much says it. Oh, here we go. Maybe Latin in regards of uncapital species names are represented in binomial nomenclature by an uncapitalized Latin adjective or new and following a capitalized genus name. I don't know, but oh, here we go. Latin. Here we go. Let's try that. I see. Mostly SPP used for plural species and SP for singular species. In manuscripts, sometimes people can use it for plural strains of same species. Can we use SPP for plural strain from single species? Let's see. I think technical SP should still be for single species, even if multiple strains. What do we have in regards of Latin? Latin. Find in page Latin. SPP stands for species pluralis. Latin from species pluralis. Yeah, okay. So SPP stands for species pluralis. Latin for multiple species. Yeah, why not just write it down in English? Why do we need to have, Latin bullshit in, They love their Latin. They love their Latin bullshit, Anyway. Think of me making a report in regards to a medical report. I wouldn't, I hate Latin words. I hate, if I can't do anything in my power not to use a Latin word, I will try to, go around, try to use an English term or a Danish term. And, it's just, we don't need this Latin bullshit, Thus, Candida strains are detectable in test materials from the oropharynx 30% and the feces 65%. Candida species are possible pathogens. Possible pathogens. Oh, in certain conditions. I think they're a much bigger problem than, that you give them credit for, because, people are talking about it. There's huge amount of websites out there, talking about, there's a lot of misinformation as well and all that, but huge amount of information in regards of Candida albicans. And at least it seems like more of the bullshit seems to be, there's more, but that's, those, I guess there will always be bullshit out there, but, it seems like there's more and more information, real information getting, growing. And, when people, finds out something and, standing for the truth and all that, it takes, so, and here we have an infection of white coat, and something in regards of Candida albicans actually being a double word for white. Candida being a Roman name for something. What was it? Oh, I can't remember. But they were apparently dressed in white, as I understood it. And then the other name, albicans, also means white. So you have like a white thing. I read somewhere. And we have Cryptococcus Neoformans. I do wonder if I have any yogurt, ready. The milk. I have two milk standing, actually three, standing at the, getting heat and all that. But it doesn't really seem like it's doing much, in regards to the kefir grains. After around a day, they would, have fermented. Of course, it depends on how much kefir grains you actually had. But this process seems to be kind of very slow. I'm not sure if I'm just ruining the milk. I'll let it sit for a day more or something like that and see if it begins to get sour or not. I haven't tasted I still have something in my oven, and that seems to be pretty sour. Which is pretty good, but I guess I'll need to get a yogurt machine to make yogurt, and see if I can get some raw milk, which it's just Apparently not going to be that easy, but okay. So is that a fungus? This one as well. That's it's interesting to see what the fungus can do of damage to a person. Incredible. Yeah. Pneumocutis or something like that is a peculiar fungus because unlike other fungal cells, its cells do not possess acosterol. And acosterol is the thing that, if I remember correctly, is the thing that diflucan is fixing to, and thereby it destroys the Candida in the cytoplasmic membrane. Because of this, it is resistant to antifungals. Okay, there we go. Because the antifungals are primarily targeting acosterol, and thereby it destroys. It makes the, I guess it's called apostasy or something like that. It destroys the fungi. Apostasy? No, not apostasy. Apoptosis or something like that. Where maybe let's see here. All these advanced words and all that. Aposy. No, it's the same thing with a cell does this apo thing and all that. I don't know if it's the exact same thing in regards of, but it is annihilating the fungi. So maybe I should just take a break here and let my nose get cleaned out of the mucus that tends to get up, and read some more. And in regards of, I'm not sure if I should jump over the bacterial infection pathogenesis and more, and just skip to the mycology. That is the main concern that I have. Yeah, and there's enough to read, so yeah, that's pretty much all. There's more fungal diseases. There's a whole chapter more on this, but of course it's a little jumping over, that's I don't know, but huge amount of information and getting to understand your enemy, the fungi. It's always good to get some more information, an antifungal list and classification. Yeah, we have some more pictures of it, and I guess they talk about how it works, maybe in regards to this. Here we have the azoles, the mechanism of actions in regards of, it is fungicidal, and fungicidal just means it kills all fungi. What was it? Another one in regards of. I can't remember fungicide, but you also have fungistatin, and fungistatin is where it makes the fungus stop, and fungicidal is destroying. So it is fungicidal at high and fungistatic at low concentrations, and I guess it would maybe be fungistatic, stopping the fungi, because it's at low concentrations, because it's actually. Whatever. That it makes sense that, low concentrations would stop it at some point, and then higher concentrations would kill it off. I guess that some, stopping it, I guess it might also still, I don't know if it kills in any case. But amphotericin B is not absorbed orally, so it's like injection and all that. I don't know, really. That's not my thing, So we have nystatin, that's the thing that I'm trying to get. It is also called fungicidin, with a similar structure to that of amphotericin B. It's derived from Streptomyces nousei, it's a bacteria, and has high systemic toxicity, hence it is commonly used as a topical agent. Yeah, as I understand, they tried to use it intravenously, but that didn't really work good. So this primarily is functioning in the gut. It kills all fungi in the gut. And apparently there seems to be no high, But anyway, the molecule also has a high affinity for ecosterol present in fungal. Let's just check this word. A natural attraction or feeling. Oh, that's nice. We like that. So it has a natural oh, no. Of course, we like to have that. To kill off the fungi. The molecule also has a high affinity for ecosterol present in fungal cell membranes, and it disrupts the cell membrane. So that's the way it kills the fungi. So in regards to the ecosterol, I'm not sure if I say this correctly, but yeah. Apparently it is used against Mornellial vaginitis. Apparently, it seems like if you actually fix the gut, you also affect other places in the body. But of course, if the cause is the gut, if the burning of the fire is actually found in the gut, you know, in the digestive tract, and you remove the problem of the fungi there, you know, you might help the immune system to actually respond and take the other, you know, and carry the others out in some sense. I don't know, but anyway, you know, it depends on. I guess it depends on how hit you are, how long that you have had the infection, and how much you know, how much it have devastated your body. So let's see here. Mornellial vaginitis diagnosis is vaginal discharge and itching can accompany yeast infection and other types of. Okay, so I guess it makes sense if the infection, if the Candida, because of antibiotics, which is fungus poison, which kills all bacteria, if the antibiotic and whatever they give them of different poisons against the bacteria, if it lets the fungi run loose in the gut and the fungi actually put spores in the, because it gets through from the gut into the blood and begins to fix its spores in the blood. Well, if you then kill it off in the gut, you know, then, you know, it might actually stop the production of the spores, which might actually makes the issue being shown in the vagina, and that you know, the dripping of the vagina, you know, vagina discharge and itching can accompany yeast infection and all. And there's a Danish page in regards of health, where they actually had a video for women in regards to that, and I'm just sucking all the information that I can, you know, to try to get all the pieces together. So it's called, okay, but apparently you can only, I heard that you cannot go into the web page from outside. It's just insane. You know, the internet was free. It wasn't, you know, everybody could get on a website and all that, and now they are, you know, actually they've been doing that for many years, but I remember one of the first times where I saw this in effect was one of these MP3 players that you could just play music from the internet. I can't remember what it was called, but they closed it down for anyone else living, you know, outside America and all that. So, and of course you see them taking down websites, and you know, they really didn't. You know, they just want to rule over everything and do that despotic things and all that. So I do wonder how you see it. An infection of inflammation of the vagina caused by yeast-like fungus, Mornellia or Candida albicans. So here we have in regards of Candida. I do wonder what Morlinian is. Let's just try to find Morlinial. Let's see if we can find a picture of it or something like that. Oh, here we go. A picture of the fungi. Oh, that actually looks like it's actually Candida. Well, of course, the images are not that. Here we see, you know, Candida albicans on the vagina walls and all that, which is a problem, of course, for people. Oh, here we go in regards of I see here itch, burning, pain, discharge, itch, burning, pain, discharge, itch, burning, pain, discharge. So I guess itch, that's burning, yep, pain, yeah, and warmth. So I guess 4 of the symptoms I think is, I don't have any discharge, so itch, burning, pain, and warm, feeling of warm, being warm, and tender as well. That would be, you have a hard time actually putting words on things and all that, but that would be, I guess, the 5 things that I would put on this thing. So when you see the symptoms, you see other symptoms that actually seems to fit the print of Candida. You are of course drawn in that direction. Apparently, it's like Moniliae vaginitis is still candidiasis. Is still apparently organism. Candida albicans cause, and the quality is not that good on this one. I think there's a problem in regards of Google, because they don't like the browser, blocking the advertising, the stupidities of advertising, and thereby they, where did I go here? No. We have single dose in regards of, where did we go? Monilial, here we have Candida, apparently Monilial vaginitis. I wonder if that's just a Candida. I don't know how that is. Is that just a name for the? Is it just Candida albicans, or Anyway, I don't know. But anyway, discharge. Only itching, burning, pain. Yeah, and of course heatness and the tender. I'm getting better to getting the right words to actually explain the issue. Now, of course, in regards of eating meat has absolutely helped on that issue. But now that I have it all throughout my, skin, I can feel it crawling. Yeah, I think it, it would be interesting to see if what the diflucan would do to my symptoms, Because if the diflucan actually takes out all the symptoms, destroys it outright, well, I would know what is the problem, of course. I would get confirmation on that. Itching, burning, and pain, yeah. I feel you. The itch was just, unbearable itch. I'm really happy to have found out that I can, if I just eat meat. And I guess if the problem is, it seems like there's a connection or a link between the sexual organs and the itching and the gut. It seems like it's leading me back to the gut, it seems, And I really, there's some bad pictures here. I probably should get away from these pictures, and YouTube might also take the video down if, so, yeah. So anyways, let's get back to it. Well, I guess again, I don't know if YouTube don't like that in regards of these images, they probably will have a problem with that. Anyway, just trying to figure out what is wrong, right? So I should stop it, and no one sees the videos anyway, right? So, so shouldn't. But and again, when you have issues that is pretty private and all that, well, if you're not going to talk about them, you're not going to solve the issue. And if you're not going to get into and trying to fix it, you will not solve it. It will just be a silent killer of so yeah. This is a problem, a huge problem in society, and that a lot of people have issues with. And if you can't talk about it, how are we then going to, these white coat murderers are not going to, help apparently. So, because don't treat the cause, treat the symptom, right? Because there's money in treating the symptoms and giving more symptoms and just letting it run wild. Yeah, I'll stop this and maybe get some yogurt if it's sour enough. And I'll take another go, and I think we'll go for the mycology trait of fungi, because again, I don't have that much energy and focus and all that. So I'll skip the bacterial infections for now and jump to the antifungals. That's enough to read, it's a huge amount of topics, Anyway, may Jehovah bless you, and may Yeshua be a most precious pearl, and may the Holy Spirit, the Spirit of truth, be in us all. Amen.